Peace. Dr. Hassan Batts, who is the founder of our organization called the Prison Survivor Network, has a series called The Morning Medicine. It's a series of daily jewels that we can take with us that helps us to heal. This morning he had one called Ready for Feedback. And it spoke about, asking others for feedback, in essence, constructive criticism. Do we accept it? And of course, we're not talking about accepting things from people who's just hating and they want to complain and shoot you down just for the sake of doing that. We're talking about, receiving it from loved ones and maybe people at a job and friends and different things of that nature. So I want to share a story. The last time I was in Morocco, I rented a car. And initially I was a little nervous about driving in Morocco because it's a little different compared to America as far as like the distance between the cars. Even when it comes to the speed limit, they do theirs in kilometers, and the speed limit is like, for instance, it may be 50 or 60 miles an hour. And then a block later, it'll go to like 40 miles an hour. And then a block later, shoot back up to 60. And then half a block later, it'll be 30 miles an hour. That's how it goes. And I'm gonna make a video to show you what I'm talking about. But anyway, so my wife, she kept telling me to slow down, be careful. And, I'm like, man, I've driven in New York. I've driven in Trinidad, and it's crazy in Trinidad as far as the way they drive. I can make it here in Morocco. And sure enough, I ended up getting pulled, license check. Well, it wasn't a license check. I was speeding. Excuse me. I ended up getting a ticket. It was 150 dirhams, which in essence is like 15 American dollars that I had to pay to the cop. And I'm glad that it was like that because I didn't want to have to come back to Morocco or to handle the courts, handle that traffic ticket and all of those things. So I paid the cop and that was that. And I like that about the process at least. And then later on in the day, I made an illegal turn going to our apartment. So there was a cop that was there. He stopped me and said something to me about it. But alhamdulillah, I was able to, explain I didn't know, kind of talk myself out of that. So when we got back to the apartment, my wife was like, listen, you dropped these series called Freedom Ain't Too Bad. And you got stopped by the cops twice. And the other cop could have gave you a ticket. And it was like a gut check. She gave me some feedback. And it was something that I needed to hear. Because when I say freedom ain't too bad, what this means is I'm not going back to jail. I'm not going back to prison. I don't want to get any tickets. And any interactions that I have with a cop, it's more so friendly. Hey, man, how you doing? And keep it pushing. That's part of what freedom ain't too bad means. And since I got a ticket by one and could have got a ticket by another one, I wasn't living up to my standard that I set for myself, which is freedom isn't too bad. So I wanted to share this with you all today. And I invite you to receive constructive criticism, receive feedback. And again, I'm not talking about asking or talking to those who mean you no good. Talk to your wife, talk to your husband, talk to your supervisor, talk to your friends. Freedom ain't too bad. And I mean that. Peace.